What's going on, everybody? Hope you all are doing very well. Let me keep admitting people. Dang, wasn't expecting this many people to show up. That's awesome. Let me share some more links with other people. Okay. Okay. Y'all taking some deep breaths, I hope, from this whole elephant challenge thing. It's kind of a lot, isn't it? All at once? Jeez. Being in multifamily all at once, it can get difficult. My name is Rob Sema. I am one of the Elephant Challenge leaders. I am sub 2 student. I am also the King Gator. So you've got everything you need, everything you're possibly going to need. I'm pretty sure I can find it. I'm tapped into some pretty cool people who are also doing multifamily stuff, and I do multifamily stuff on the side. So it is fantastic to see everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is going to be kind of low key. If you guys have any questions about anything at all, about anything yesterday, about what the process looks like, what's expectations for you guys, that sort of thing. If you're new to Zoom, there is a little button at the bottom that says reactions, and you just hit that button and raise hand. And what happens is it queues you up, and I can answer questions. Look at that, we already got people asking questions. Awesome.
I'm just playing.
You're just playing with me, man. Come on, you can't be doing that. Jeez, I was all excited to answer some questions.
I may have some in a second.
Oh, no problem, no problem. I keep double clicking and it keeps messing up my screen here. Let's see. Okay, can I? Dang, look at that. Look at that. Everybody is muted. So if you guys have questions, you're going to have to raise your, my voice keeps cutting off. Is it okay now? Let me know if you guys are having any audio issues or anything like that. It should be okay. Let me double check my audio settings. Okay. Sometimes it does some weird stuff. I Zoom and stream and StreamYard and Discord, and I'm all over the place sometimes. So I appreciate someone putting a hand up and letting me know that it's not correct. Let me keep double checking with everyone to make sure we're all good. Okay, on Discord. Yes, okay, Central Time. Okay. Okay, let's see. It's hard to keep track of everything going on. There's just so much. You know, Elephant Challenge is one of those things where it's like drinking from a fire hose, you know? Okay, I see Debbie Hendricks texted me. Let me reply to her. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I'm happy to work whatever market. I'm happy to work whatever market across the country. I have contacts in all the markets. Holy cow, man, there's just too much content coming all at once, and I don't have the bandwidth to focus on all of it. So awesome. Let me keep admitting people. Look at that, we got 19 people, 20 people. Fantastic. Does anyone have any questions at all about what the heck we're doing here? Like, I watched Elephant Challenge yesterday and Pace started going off about all this multifamily stuff, and now I am lost. Is anyone at that point? If you're at that point, I'm sure other people at that point, don't be embarrassed by being new. We were all new at one point in our lives. So raise a hand and let's talk about it. That's okay. Here is my plan for what is going to be going on starting yesterday and in the days and weeks following. The goal is multifamily. What's that mean? What's that mean? Anyone have any ideas? Like, what are we going to be doing with the multifamily? How do we acquire these? Like, is the goal to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull Anthony up. Anthony, too bad, brother. You're my peep in my neck of the woods.
Hey,
You're
what
on
it
my
be like? Hey, man, what's happening,
you're on
y'all?
my team, so it's like you got
Right.
singled out.
That's all
Um,
good.
So what are we doing here? What
Oh,
do you
man,
think the
we about
plan
to-
is? What is your goal with multifamily?
My goal is to find out how to underwrite a deal for multifamily, how
Good.
to find it, acquire it, and wholesale it. Or if it works out, shoot, hold on to it, partner up with somebody, and give me some doors under my belt. You know what I mean?
Fantastic. So do you know there's only 3 ways to make money in real estate? Do you know what those 3 are?
I do.
Tell
You
me
can-
what those 3 are.
You can wholesale it.
Okay.
You can buy and hold it, or
Okay.
you can, there's one more, fix and flip it.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
Perfect. So let's talk about those 3 strategies in the context of multifamily. Okay. So if we're going to wholesale a property, or we're going to fix and flip a property, or we're going to buy and hold a property, those are 3 different approaches, and we have to recognize that they're 3 different approaches because they each need to be approached themselves differently, right? First off, I can tell you guys right now, if you're wanting to do multifamily where we're fixing and flipping it, this is probably not a reality. That's a big dog game, right? That's a game where you need deep pockets. You need to be able to run crews. You need to be able to get private money. It's a bigger game, right? So that's not what we're going to be focusing on for Elephant Challenge. Elephant Challenge is all about like, how does a newbie get into real estate, get into multifamily? And the fix and flip game is not a newbie game. Okay. The buy and hold strategy is also not really a newbie game. You need to provide lots of values. Well, first off, you need money, right? You need to be acquiring these properties with money. If you don't have money, you need to be acquiring these properties with fantastic creative plays. If you can't bring money to the table, you need to be getting that amount of money that needs to be brought to the table shrunk down. And the only way to do that really is with a creative play. So if you don't know how to do any of that, then you're not going to be able to do it, right? Is it possible? Heck yeah. And I am here to teach you guys how we can get into multifamily to buy and hold. That's my goal here too, to buy and hold multifamily and do it in a way with little of your own money. That's the goal. Okay. The other goal, my primary goal, my business partner just logged into. My primary goal is to teach you guys how to find multifamily properties, which we talked about yesterday on Elephant Challenge. Pace did a whole thing about that, right? The second goal is what we're going to be doing today, how to determine whether the property is, how to determine what the value of the property is. What do the numbers look like? How do we determine those numbers? Is this a good deal or not? Okay. And number 3 is, because we're still new into the game, it would be wise of us to figure out how to wholesale some of these properties to get that cash flowing. Right? Some of us need cash for Christmas. I need cash for Christmas. I need to go buy some presents. I
Right.
got bills to pay. Right?
Absolutely.
That's what we're here focusing on. So this is my proposal. This is what Robert's going to be focusing on. Let's find properties that make sense, that we can get creatively, and that we can wholesale. Okay. Now, it's not, one of the prerequisites is not that we get a creative necessarily. If you can get a great cash deal on a property, that works too. What we're not looking for is Trump Tower in New York City. We're not the players in that game. Right? That's A-class level. We're not looking for resorts. We're not looking for brand new construction. That's not the game we're in. Those are institutional players. Those are hedge funds. We're not playing that game, right? I'm a mom and pop in the backwood of Texas. Like, I'm not playing that game right now. I will be playing that game, but I'm in the first inning. Right? So the first inning, you play a very different game. Well, let's do it. Let's do a World Cup, right? World Cup is on. You play very different in the first 10 minutes than you play in the last 10 minutes. It's a different kind of game, right? American football, sorry, I'm about to offend some people. The US soccer is not crap compared to English league. Let's be honest. UEFA, American soccer, MLS soccer cannot hold a candle to UEFA. Different game. Different. Those guys are ballers, like serious ballers. I can't name any of the guys on the soccer team of the US soccer team, but I can name you a ton of international players that are well known around the world, right? So we're not playing the game of A-class properties that are like 600 units and they're, $200 million. That's not our game today. That's not our game in Elephant Challenge. You following? Right? So what's our game? Our game is between 2 units and roughly 60 units, roughly. Why do I say that? Any guesses? Any guesses, Anthony?
Because they would be on Privy. Because you can
Number one.
access them through the MLS on Privy. That'd be
Number
something that
two.
you could kind of look up.
Very
The other
good.
thing was, I would imagine is because we're looking for mom and pop. So
Oh, that's so sexy.
yeah, so that's kind of what we're trying to find. So if we're trying to, I guess if we're trying to do, like you were saying, find the Taj Mahal or the Trump Towers, those are going to be some huge ballers in the game, and we're not there yet. So anything
Let me ask you a question. You think
Yeah.
Trump Tower's listed on Privy?
Absolutely not.
When people are
Absolutely.
playing at that level of the game, it's an insider's game. You
Yeah,
need to be a member of the golf club in order to play at that golf club.
the Billionaires Golf Club.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're looking at properties that are typically held by mom and pops. You're going to have a hard time negotiating a lower cash offer or a creative play when there's a hedge fund or a big player involved. They're not interested, right? They have no pain typically. And I'm generalizing a little bit here, but they're not going to be in a position to be like, oh, sure, we'll sell or carry this and we'll let you do. No, it's not going to happen. However, with a mom and pop who's been, in their 60s and 70s and 80s, and the wife is like, I'm sick and tired of you leaving every day to go to those apartments, and deal with all those tenants and I just want to go live on the beach in Florida, that's a very different game. Now we've got people who have a pain point and they're wanting to sell. So that's our approach. Our approach is we're targeting mom and pop owners of multifamily who have some sort of pain point. They're open to creative or they're open to lower cash offers. And we're going to try to wholesale those properties, right? We're going to try to get them under contract at a lower price point or a creative price point. The price doesn't necessarily need to be lower when it's creative. We can offer more if it's creative sometimes because we're worried about cash flow. If we can make it cash flow, that's what we care about. Okay. And then we're going to wholesale. We're going to sell that at a little bit of a higher price than what we contracted for in order to have an assignment fee. And that's where we're going to make our money. Okay. You follow, everybody following? If there's any questions about that, raise your hands. I'm happy to break it down a little bit more. I'm going to be super slow and deliberate because a lot of this stuff is new to some people. And I'm going to go at the slowest, at the pace of the person who was the slowest. Because I was there too. Okay. So if you have any questions, I'm being 100% serious. Ask, and I'm happy to spend an hour rehearsing what we just talked about if necessary. Okay, like legitimately. Thank you, Montiera. I'm gonna pull Montiera up just a second. Just a sec. You might have to turn on your camera, Montiera. Oh, look at this. How are you? How are you? Let me, oh, I have to unmute. Let me just, I'm gonna hit the unmute button right now. Go ahead and unmute.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Montero. How are you?
I'm good. You can call me Monty for short.
Okay, I didn't want to assume. Okay, thank you, Monty. How are you?
I'm good. It's nice to see you again. I think we had you was in the group chat, the Zoom call the other night. But anyways, my question was, so how can we determine what will be the best price to offer?
Montero, Monty, you're a go-getter. You're asking the next questions. I'm happy to, we're going to be talking about that for sure. If it looks like everyone's good where we are so far, everyone's cool with the game plan, what we're going to be doing. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about reality. Okay, let's be real for a minute. I'm going to deflate a little bit of bubbles and then you guys can go on at 2 o'clock and watch Pace and he'll reinflate your bubble. Okay. If Monty is a hustler and goes and gets a property and does the process that we're going to be talking about here in a few minutes and brings Rob Sema a property, is it fair for Rob Sema and Monty to share in on that property? To share in that assignment fee? Yeah. If you do the work and if you do your part and I do my part, it is 100% appropriate for us to split that fee, right? Now, what does that look like? Like if you go on Privy and you find a property and you bring it to me and you say, hey, Rob, I found this property on Privy. Can you call it? Can you underwrite it? Can you do all that stuff? Is that fair? No, that's not. You're probably not going to get any cut in that deal because I could have went on Privy and found it. You haven't really provided value yet. You understand? So I'm going to ask you to do some work to provide value to us. And in turn, for providing that value, you're going to get cut in on the assignment fee. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah.
That I think is an appropriate way to do things. Now, if Monty's a hustler and she brings me a property and she does what I ask her to do and she puts in the work and then we put in our side of the work and we get that property contracted. And then after we get the property contracted, my team's able to sell it. Is it fair for Anthony to get a cut?
On your, no.
No. So we're here to support each other, but we're here to get paid on the work we do, not on someone else's work, right? So I am getting blown up. I've had over 300 people contact me, so I'm still reeling from that. No problem. What's Robert's role? My role is to be here to here's how I think of my role. Everybody brings something to the table, right? Some people will be finding properties, some people will be underwriting those properties, some people will be negotiating and getting those, you know, talking to the agents. Some people will be doing paperwork and writing LOIs and signing contracts and doing all that stuff. Some people will be talking to sellers and getting to buyers, sorry, and getting those buyers, selling those properties to buyers, right? So everyone brings something to the table. I bring the table. I'm the place where everybody comes and does the stuff. Okay. You guys following? So on my team, I have acquisitions experts, sub-2 students who are all acquisitions people. They know how to do any deal that exists in real estate, they can figure out. They've got, if they don't have direct experience, we have contacts who I can bring in to provide that direct experience. In the multifamily world, I have big ballers on our team. Okay. I also have dispositions on my team. We can get your property sold. If we put a contract on a property, there's a very, very high likelihood that property is going to be sold. Is it always sold? No, stuff happens. It falls out of contract. Things don't work out right. But it's highly likely that that property is going to be sold. My goal is to help people. So my goal is to help you guys get to that point. What I want you guys to learn. So if you're new, if you're non-sub-2 and you haven't really done a lot of multifamily, but you're here, the 27 of us who are here, and you're wanting to hustle and you're wanting to do stuff, there's a few things I need you to do. Number one is I need you to know what napkin underwriting is. This is a common term in multifamily, napkin underwriting. How do we napkin underwrite? Okay, Monty asked, how do I figure out what the price of this place is? I will not be going over that in this meeting because we're going to be covering some of that in today's Elephant Challenge. Okay. What I do want to talk about is the other thing I want you to do is I want you to, there's three things. Number one, we're going to learn how to nap. You're going to have to napkin underwrite. When you bring me a property, you have to have a napkin underwritten. Okay. Number two is I want you guys to learn and get familiar with the lingo. Multifamily is not single family. The same things in the same processes in multifamily and single family are called different things. There's a lot of acronyms, NOIs and cap rates and IR and all sorts of weird stuff, rent rolls and T12s and PNLs and all of these acronyms that are freely talked about because people who are in the game understand them, sound like a foreign language because it is a new language and it's complicated. It's not difficult, it's just complicated. There's lots of new buzzwords. So what my plan is to provide you guys with a list of the acronyms. Okay, I am going to give you like a glossary of terms. Now, I'm not going to give it to you today because I'm going to incentivize you to come to my Elephant Zoom on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Okay, every week, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time, I do a Zoom for elephants. You guys have full access to me. Sometimes I'm there for 3 hours. I'm happy to answer questions, to work with you guys. My friend Anthony is there and he will testify that I can break it down into excruciatingly simple steps for you guys. I'm super happy to do that. Okay. Holy cow, I keep forgetting to add people. I am so sorry. I'm terrible. I can't focus on talking and on what's going on in the chat and Zooms and stuff. I'm so sorry. So Emmanuel says, my multifamily goal is to find a deal and partner through a syndication with other investors that buy 10 to 50 units in Sunbelt states. From 1 to 10, my underwriting skills from 6 to 7. I've underwritten 7 multifamily properties here. Biggest I've underwritten was 115 units, and that made my head turn. So I'm only doing 10 to 50 units. Yeah. Anybody here know what syndication is? We're not going to be talking about syndication right now. That's a game that bigger players play. Okay. Anybody here know? Does anybody here know how to go and raise $10 million? We're not playing that game. Right? Our game is not to hold properties necessarily. At least my game. My game is not to hold properties right now. I can teach you guys how to do that. I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do that. But the first step is let's get some cash in our pockets, right? I think we can all use some cash for Christmas. Let's get some cash in our pockets. The first one, let's just wholesale it. The second, the third, let's just wholesale them so we can get familiar with the whole process. Okay, is that fair? Does that sound fair? Like you guys were thrown into Elephant Challenge. It's like, this isn't drinking from a fire hose. This is throw you in the middle of the Atlantic and swim back. Like the multifamily game is a big game. Okay, we're small players. It's totally understandable. We will be big players, but we're still learning how to toddle and walk and do all that stuff. So let's learn how to walk, and then we can freaking be Olympic stars. Okay, so that's my goal. Now, if this is like, oh man, I was hoping for something else. There's like 50 other elephant and sub 2 leaders who are doing different approaches, I'm sure, and they're doing different stuff. But I am not privy to all of those conversations because there's so much stuff to keep a track of, and I can't do all of it. So that's me. One of the questions that comes up really early is, what the heck do we do about money? Right? A lot of these properties are going to require things like EMD, earnest money deposits. In most cases, they're going to need 1%. Some cases, they're going to need 3%. Some cases, they're going to need 5%. Depends. Do not worry about that. If you're here with Rob Sema, I am telling you right now, you do not have to worry about EMD. If you guys come on today, second plug, come on today on Elephant Challenge. I'll be there. We're going to be doing a plug. I am the leader of what's called the Gator community. I have 1,000 Gators ready at your disposal who can raise EMD in minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Gator King.
There is zero doubt in my mind that if I needed to, I can come up with $1 million by tomorrow. Okay, so do not worry about EMD. Don't worry about transactional funding. We got that covered. Okay. Oh man, I have to keep adding people. No problem. I'm happy to add you guys. I'm happy people are still trickling in. Are there any questions about what the approach, the game plan is for the next week or two? Did I talk about all 3 things?
You only got the 2.
Man, see, good thing you reminded me. Let's go back. Number 1, you're gonna have to learn how to napkin underwrite. They're probably gonna be talking about that today. We will cover that again Tuesday if we need to. Okay. Write your questions down, bring them all in on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, Elephant Zoom. The link for my Zoom is, if you're here, you're probably registered, so you're in Discord. Please make sure you're in Discord and in the Pace Creative Finance with Pace Morby Facebook group. Be in both. The link is in Discord. There's a channel in the Elephant called Training Schedule. There's a Google Calendar link up there that Carly has put up. You'll get access to all of the Elephant trainings that are happening. Those are the official Elephant Leader trainings. I would only do official ones if I was me. So those are all of the official Elephant Leader trainings, and I will be on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Arizona time. So number one, we're going to learn how to napkin underwrite together. Number two, you're going to start getting familiar with lingo, and I'm going to do my best to provide a glossary for you. I have one in the works already that my brother, Justin Hoke, is putting together. So glossary for Tuesday Elephant Zoom. And if I don't write stuff down, I forget. Number three is you're going to have to make some calls. You're going to have to make some calls to those properties that you find on Privy. Okay, so whether it's a broker or an agent, or whether you get to the seller directly, you're going to need to make some calls to get some info gathering. Okay, now here's the tricky part. You can make calls, but if you get to a broker who is worth their weight in salt, and you're not at least a little bit familiar with what to ask for, they're probably going to hang up on you. Right? If you don't know, like, you need to ask for a T12, right? If this is a property that has a broker, it probably has a T12 on it. What does a T12 mean? What's T12? A T12 is a trailing 12-month document that has all of the expenses and all of the incomes and everything on it for the last 12 months. Okay. So this is, there's a few things you need to ask for when you're dealing with a broker. You need a T12. Let me do both of them at the same time. So whether you're dealing with a broker or whether you're dealing with the seller directly, you're going to need some financial information, right? If it's a property where they have their act together a little bit, they're going to have T12s. If it's a mom and pop who doesn't really do a good job taking care of stuff, they're not going to have a T12. They're going to have P&Ls, maybe a profit and loss, if that, right? If they don't have any of that, ask them for, paper files, maybe. You're going to have to deduce some of that. Sometimes you can get returns. Sometimes you can get tax returns, but that's only if they're actually dealing with a decent CPA. So it's a weird world out there. Some people who own apartment, I've run across a guy who owns a ton of apartment complexes and he does everything in a notebook. Like, it blows my mind why he would do that, but he's old school. He's an old school guy and that's what he does. So somehow we need some financial information, right? The other thing that a broker will probably have is an OM, an offering memorandum. It's basically an intro sheet that kind of gives a basic idea of the property. It's like an introduction to the property. Tells you about unit mix and tells you about its neighborhood and tells you about occupancy rates, that sort of thing. Okay. The other thing that you're going to want to get, whether it's from a broker or whether it's from a mom and pop, even if it's in paperwork, like if it's just kept in a notebook, you need to get rent rolls. Okay, you need to know how much this is where your primary income is coming from. The rents, right? I mean, it's pretty logical when someone actually tells you like your income comes from rents. Like, oh, I guess so. Your income is coming from rents. So you need to know what those rents are. I like it when they're super detailed. I want to know what the unit number is. I want to know how many beds and bath that unit has. I want to know how much they have left on their lease. I want to know if there's pet fees or any other fees, or if they're renting a garage, if they're renting a parking spot. I want to know all of that. I also want to know, like, what's the laundry situation? Is there an on-site laundry? Is there in-unit laundry? Those are different things that you kind of need to know. All right. So all of that information so far that you've gathered is a fantastic start. Once you get all that information, you can do a pretty accurate underwrite, pretty accurate, quick napkin underwrite. The napkin underwrite is basically what it sounds like. Like, I'm going to do a back of the napkin quick calc to see if this is something worth pursuing. Okay. Are there any questions about this so far? I just vomited a bunch of info. Mr. Steven, give me 1 second so I can pull you up. Give me 1 second so I can. Ooh, I don't want to do that. Mr. Steven, give me just 1 second. Monty, was there anything else that you needed? Anything, any other questions?
Yeah. So what if we do have all that information? Like I'm currently I'm supposed to be talking with a broker today, for a buyer for a 378 unit.
Dang, girl. Awesome.
Thank you. And he's told me to like get him ready for well, he said he's gonna do all the creative finance talking with him. I just need to find out other information. So what else will I need to ask the broker? Like just ask him about why the seller is selling the property and stuff like that.
So you have T12s and you have an OM, and you have rent rolls, and you guys have napkin underwritten, all that stuff.
I don't know about the napkin rate. I'm still kind of new to this, but when I clicked on it, it had all the information and stuff like the rent roll, T12, and etc.
Yeah, as long as it's pretty current. So like we're in December now. If the most recent rent roll is to like August or September, I would request a new one. But that's all you really need. It's not complicated. Don't overthink it. You have
Yep.
enough to do some basic math. And now you're saying you have someone who can come on and sort of talk about creative stuff with them, like a sub 2 student. Is that what you mean?
He's a buyer.
Cool. I think that's a great place to start.
Okay. Like when I seen the rent roll, honestly, it gave me a whole headache.
Yeah.
It was I'm looking at it and it was a lot.
Yeah. And I'm happy to help you guys napkin underwrite. It's just going to be covered. Most of that stuff's going to be covered today. So I don't want to spoil it for you guys. I want you guys to be there at the Elephant Challenge stuff today. Cool. Thanks, Monty. All right, Mr. Steven, I'm going to hit unmute.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, doing good. How are you?
I am doing pretty good.
Perfect. Hey, quick question. So, I haven't done any deals, obviously, in multifamily. This is new to me. When you start looking, and I'm sure some of this will be explained later with this napkin underwriting, etc. Do you have the contracts that we should be using? Do we need to go get an attorney in Texas to put those together for us? Do you have a preferred methodology? Like, we get all this put together, we like the deal, we like the numbers, we've run everything. we like the ROI, the COC, everything else. And it's, we want to submit an offer to them.
Mhm.
Are we doing that with you, or is like, at what point do we bring you into this conversation?
Great. That's exactly where we're at now. So you found the property. You've called the agent and you've gotten some good info from them. You've done some good gathering. You've napkin underwritten the property. And you've determined that, which we'll learn today in Elephant Challenge, you've determined that this is potentially a good deal.
Still
This-
don't know what napkin underwriting is, but I'm following. you.
Yeah, yeah. So the napkin underwrite, they're going to be talking about it today. It's a basic process where we do some quick math, literally on the back of a napkin if you need to determine if this is a decent deal.
Oh, got it. Okay, good. So this isn't anything formal that I'm doing with the seller. This
No,
is
no, no. This
internal
is
work.
you vetting the deal,
Got it. Okay.
right? So if you did a quick napkin underwrite and you're determining that this deal is worth 500,000, let's say, but the seller is asking for 10 million, this deal's not going to work. The
Right.
seller's in la la land. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm going to move on. Okay.
Got it.
But if you're doing all these things that we've been talking about, and you're like, hey, this is potentially a good deal, it cash flows, or or what you've done is you've underwritten and you're like, it cash flows, but there's a creative option. The seller is open to seller financing, or there's assumable mortgage. He's open to sub to it. That jumps up really quick to the top of the list, and we're going to be looking at that much earlier. You understand?
So we're going to do all these preliminary basic parts, and then we're going to contact you
And then you'll bring it to my
to
team,
discuss next steps.
and my team will look at the deal with you and involve you as much as you want to be involved. Okay. And I say that because, for example, in one of my first Elephant Challenge, I'm gonna take a long time explaining this, so bear with me, okay? In my first Elephant Challenge, I had a lady who was deathly afraid of getting on the phone. I don't know why. She was okay with talking to family and stuff, but like new people, cold calling people, somehow she got it in her head that she was gonna die if she did this, and she was deathly afraid of it. Okay. So if you're a person who is not okay with getting on the phone with sellers, don't get on the phone with them. My team is happy to do that part of it with you. But if you're like, hey man, I'm a go-getter and I love being on the phone, you should do that. So the more of the process you do, the bigger of a piece of the pie you're going to get, right? If you can underwrite the deal, if you can negotiate the deal, if you can put that property under contract, you're going to get a much bigger piece of the pie than if you're just underwriting the deal and then bringing it to me to negotiate and get it under contract. You see what I'm saying? There's like a
Sure.
pieces of the pie there. So for you seem like a go-getter. Like you would be comfortable talking to an agent and getting some info. And if I gave you the option, you would be okay with teaming up with my. So if you bring a property like that, my acquisitions team is happy to let you be on those calls and show you how they're negotiating and show you how they're putting things under contract. More than happy, because you provided us value,
Right.
right? You're bringing an actual warm lead that now we can do something with, right?
Got it.
So if you're like, oh, I was able to get this property negotiated and we got it under contract, and then you come to me and all we have to do is sell it, you're getting a pretty big piece of the pie then. And you would be there with us, seeing how we talk to buyers and seeing how we dispo, the term is dispo, how we dispo properties. If it's
So
something,
that- oh, no, go ahead.
if it's something that makes really a lot of sense, I might buy it. I'm gonna acquire properties. I'm looking to acquire. If they're creative I'm looking to acquire.
So back to kind of the original question as we transition out of single family to multifamily. Like in Texas, most of the time I just use the TREC contract.
Yeah, in Texas,
So-
you're gonna have to use the trick pretty much 99% of the time
Even
for
on
single family stuff.
multifamily?
For single family stuff.
Right, but
On
so we go to
multifamily-
multifamily, what do we do?
On multifamily, there's a commercial contract that most brokers will use.
Do we get it from you or from the broker?
If I'm on the deal, I will provide all of that stuff.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I can't give you contracts necessarily, like the sub two contracts, I can't give them out. I'm legally not required to give them out. I'm not allowed to give them out. But if we're JVing, if we're joint venturing, partnering on a deal,
Right.
you will be able to see all the contracts. There will be nothing that will be hidden from you.
Perfect. And then are there, as we start digging into this and doing the analysis, et cetera, for you in your group, are there minimums that you're looking at that you say you've got to meet these thresholds on a deal or we're not interested, whether it's, the ROI, the COC, the, income per door? Are there bare minimums that you say we want to at least see this in a deal?
We like there to be at least about $200 cash flow per door. We don't want to do heavy renovations. I will only be doing creative plays for my personal self. My personal, like if I'm locking stuff up with myself and my partner, we're not going to be buying cash deals. We want small entry deals if possible. But that doesn't mean don't bring us that stuff. It means we're probably going to end up wholesaling it.
Got it. Okay.
Right.
Cool.
There's two things, right? I'm open to doing stuff across the country. What happened? Everybody still here?
I'm
For
here.
some reason, I got kicked out for a second. I live in San Antonio. I am close to San Antonio. I am close to Austin. Houston is a few hour drive. Dallas is a few hour drive. I'm open to helping across the nation though. For my personal self, I'm going to be acquiring. So let me preface that. I'm going to be acquiring within driving distance because when we're talking about complexes that have less than say 60 to 70 doors, you're going to have to self-manage those. And I need to be able to be in driving distance for that. But that's my personal self. That's what I'm going to be acquiring. Some of my team is in Arkansas and they want to acquire in Arkansas. So if you're bringing me properties in Arkansas, they're going to probably be your buyers on it. Right?
Got it.
Can you bring me stuff in? Okay. I will never personally acquire stuff like in LA. It's just not interesting to me. I love LA, but it's in California, so I don't like California. So yeah, I'm not looking at minimums or maximum. It needs the cash flow. It needs the cash flow and it needs to be creative. But I'm purposely trying to be broad so that whatever comes our way, we can wholesale it if it doesn't fit my personal buy box.
So in the world of multifamily, do you consider investors that own multiple single families and they're wanting to sell them as a package?
Portfolios?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not multifamily. It's portfolio. We can look at that. I know our acquisitions team has looked at one recently. I think Brittany's in here. We looked at portfolio. The problem with portfolios is that sometimes they're really hard to negotiate. And let me rephrase. If the seller is opening to splitting up the portfolio, I'm willing to talk.
Got it,
If they're not willing to split it up and let me cherry pick, I'm not interested.
got it. Okay, cool. All right.
Because I was looking at a portfolio in Ohio. The portfolio itself had a great return. But out of those 13 properties, like 6 of them were dumps. And I'm not interested.
Okay.
Like, I'm not
That
interested in
makes sense.
taking on a long distance heavy renovation.
Okay. Well, cool. Great insight. Appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
Heck yeah.
We'll see where
Now
this goes.
I want to say something because you mentioned something that I want to make sure we clarify.
Okay,
Just because this elephant challenge is talking multifamily doesn't mean y'all should abandon single family homes and go multifamily only now. It's
Right.
both.
okay,
Okay. Keep doing the single family stuff. In fact, if you do the same thing on the single family side, bring them to me. If you're comping and underwriting and you find properties that are either great cash flow or they have potential creative plays on them, same thing. Bring them to me. I'm happy to make sure you guys get a piece of the pie when we sell those, or if I acquire them.
okay. I'm assuming, like, as we've jumped into Facebook and, you post that you're new and all this, you get a lot of people, you get a lot of activity from other students, sub-2 Gators. Are we like picking you and you're our primary until you say no, and then we go to others if we still think it's a deal and you don't? How does that normally work in y'all's area of Facebook world?
Yeah. I'm still figuring that out. Some of the leaders are doing like Discord channels, separate Discord channels. I haven't decided what I want to do yet, because I have to leave myself open. Because I'm doing a lot of that Gator stuff too, I kind of need to be involved in all of the channels. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So it's
Right.
hard for me to like process all the bandwidth, but I will continue to improve that. If you're following me on Facebook or on Discord, you'll see me post. I'm constantly on Facebook. If you message me on Messenger, I'm probably going to respond, or on Discord. I'm on both of those. I monitor them constantly. So if you need something, I'll be there. Second question is,
I think another way of phrasing that question would be, as we look at putting this together, I mean, from our point of view, is why should we align with you over someone else? Because I
shouldn't.
think what we want to do is not get too diluted in the beginning, right?
right, you shouldn't. If you don't like my beard, you should find someone who doesn't have a beard. No, so
I got it.
here's what I recommend. If you are at all questioning why should I follow what Rob Sema says, go into the sub-2 and into the creative finance group and ask.
Well, I think I have a pretty good feel for it. I just
And
trying to get clarity around this
and
picture.
I would say that my reputation precedes me.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So I am pretty open about saying this is not a deal, move on. I think for Anthony,
Okay.
there's been several times where it's been like, this is not a deal, just move on. Because I'm talking on behalf of sub-2. Like, I know what the majority of sub-2 people are thinking when they're looking at these type of deals.
Right.
I'm shopping for them. Okay. If you guys
Cool.
are bringing me property that we're going to wholesale, I'm trying to wholesale into the sub-2 community. Okay. So I know what they're looking for. Like, none of us are going to be are doing conventional 20% down on a house. I can't think of one person in sub-2 who's like, oh, that's a great thing to do. Like, we're not doing that.
Okay.
We're looking at creative plays. We're looking at being, every deal I do, I want to be paid for doing it. As in, I don't want to put any money in. I'm expecting to make money out. Okay. So if I had someone bring me this week, like, she bought a duplex, she put 15% down and bought it above asking price. and she has to put another $50,000 into it to convert the basement into like another unit or something like that. I'm sorry, but this is not a deal. You're losing money. You're throwing money at this thing. I'm not looking to throw money at anything.
Okay, good insight. Thanks.
If we come across a property and it needs, if the seller's like, I'm willing to finance you 20% down, and it's like, we need to raise $1 million or $2 million, that's no problem, but it's not gonna be my money. It's coming from a private money lender.
Okay,
If it's, we're gonna do our best to do things like Morby methods and seller finance, assumable loans, sub twos, like we're gonna come at this, because think about it. So as a sub two student, I can walk into a deal and probably figure out 5 ways to make that work. So that's what we're gonna try to do. Like
okay.
$0 out of our pocket. Everyone's gonna get, if you're gonna work with me, you're gonna be paid.
Cool.
Like, I'm not, you guys can't be coming here and be like cheap for free. No,
I like
it's
it.
not gonna happen.
All right,
Okay.
perfect.
Steve, great to know you, man.
Hey,
Come
looking
out on
forward to
Tuesday.
working with you on this stuff.
Yeah, come out on Tuesday. We're happy to hang out. Make sure you come on tonight. I'm gonna be on tonight. We're gonna have some fun on the Zoom tonight. So
Where are you tonight?
no, not tonight, this afternoon on the 2 o'clock Elephant Challenge.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got that one on my calendar. I'll be there.
We're gonna be talking about a few things Gator, so it'll be fun.
Perfect. Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Cool, man. Nice to meet you.
All right. Nice to meet you. I'll be in touch.
What a nice guy. Emmanuel, what's up, my brother?
Hey, bud, how you doing, man?
I am doing fantastic.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to hear, brother. I pretty much had just question about like loan assumptions well, for multifamily. Like is only loan assumptions a creative way to buy multifamily, or there's more? Because I only heard of like seller finance and loan assumptions. I know it's like subject to is allowed on multifamily. That's why I'm trying to ask her.
Sure it is.
Okay.
So
And
here's the thing. If a loan assumption is possible, and that's what the seller wants, that's a good thing, right? We're going to try to assume the loan. The
okay.
problem with that is that we need to qualify for that loan.
Okay.
Assumption means that you qualify for it,
Not like subject
Okay.
to, pretty much. You have to like.
not like subject to.
Okay. Okay.
I would rather subject to it.
Yeah. Right.
If we have to assume it, I have to find someone to qualify for it.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
If it's a situation where, if it makes sense, I'll do it myself. And if not, we'll just wholesale it. That's one way. Another way is a Morby method. Are you familiar at all with what a Morby method is?
Yeah, in single family, yeah, but I don't know how multifamily works.
How do you think it works? Just pretend you're trying to do this on a multifamily that is worth $1 million, let's say. Pretend, work it out in your out loud, and I'll walk you through it.
$1 million. Does the owner still have debt in it, or is he still has a loan on it? I know more better, like let's say it's he has no debt in it. And
You
it's-
asked the same thing twice. So having debt and having a loan is the same thing.
No, I'm saying like as the example
Equity.
of no debt, like you could do more better with no debt and like more better with the loan, like.
Sure. So when I think Morby method, the seller is willing to finance us a portion of it.
Yeah.
And we'll go get financing from a private money lender. Right? So we'll
Yeah.
essentially be out of it $0 out of
Yeah,
our pocket.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. So there's no, when we're getting that private money, it's going to pay off the old loan, typically. Okay.
Yeah.
Or their share of equity if it's owned outright or whatever. It's
Okay.
details. It's details, right?
Okay.
But you can subject to. If they're willing to let you do subject to, you can do subject to.
Okay.
there's, I think Pace has bought this year like 1,000 units using Morby method,
All
like a lot.
right.
So that's our goal, right?
Yeah.
But that's something on the back end. Like,
Have you done a loan assumption deal? Have you bought one like that or no? In general,
no, I haven't bought a loan
Oh,
assumption
okay.
myself.
Have you underwritten one or like at least?
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
we're underwriting stuff all the time.
Okay. And what was your experience on that? Like
What?
underwriting a loan assumption loan? Like how was like your experience on that one? Kind of same thing as underwriting one if you're gonna get a loan from Fannie Mae.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, don't overthink it.
Okay.
I know the numbers are bigger, the unit counts are bigger. Don't overthink it.
Okay, bro.
You got this. Your verbiage tells me that you're at least a little bit educated.
Yeah, yeah. I got some. My feet has gotten wet a bit on that, so yeah, I'm like on the still on the shore, but trying to go deeper inside, to the water.
Yeah, come on deeper. The water's fine.
But it's nice and warm. All right. Well, appreciate it,
No,
man.
there's so many different ways to do it. It's like, I'm not the best at articulating all the ways. That's Pace's job.
Yeah.
But I'll put it this way. If there's something I can't figure out, I know someone who does.
Okay.
I'll call Pace on the phone. Be like, hey, I have no clue what I'm doing here. I need help. Cool, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Ra.
You had asked a question about something, but I forgot what it was. Anyway, Mr. Aaron, how are you, sir? I can't hear you. Let me hit you one more time. Unmute. I'm pushing the unmute button. There it goes.
I'm good.
Yeah, what's up?
What's up, Rob?
How are you, sir?
I'm well. Okay, when
You catching dreams
negotiating,
over there?
well, who?
You catching dreams over there?
Oh,
Back
yeah,
behind you, is that
I'm just thinking about the money,
Oh man, you gotta get a bigger one then.
right? Yeah, man, when negotiating your deal, and just say, for instance, me and the seller get into like a creative finance space, how can I be able to, what's the most you guys would take, like far as amortization, far as the years on the creative finance space?
Are you talking about like a balloon?
Yeah, well, yeah, at the end, but like, just say if I want to say I give you a little down payment with a amortization of 15 years.
I'll take as long as it takes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
as long as we can
My
make
ha-
a cash flow, that's all I care about.
okay,
Whether there's a year left or 40 years left, I don't care as long as we can make a cash flow.
okay. So what if the property cash flowing, and just say if I do a down payment for what, 10% and with a 30-year balloon?
If they would give you a 30-year balloon, that'd be freaking awesome.
But
Most of
balloons,
them are gonna be like, I want a 5-year balloon. Like they want to be out of the deal in 5 years. They're willing to sell or finance you whatever for 5 years or 10 years. I wouldn't take anything less than 5 years. So if they're like, I want a balloon in 1 year to be out of the deal, sorry. I'd be like 10 years.
10 years.
And let's meet in the middle at 5, you know? 5 is
That
the
is
minimum I would do.
the minimum, right? Okay. But what's the most?
There is no most. As
Uh-huh.
long if I can defer them until kingdom come, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like you want to be in the deal for 100 years? Sure. I'll give you $100 million if I can make a cash flow.
Mhm.
The purchase price is not the problem. This is hard for people to understand because they're thinking about property from a homeowner's perspective, right?
Mhm.
We're not homeowners here. This is business. This is
Right.
investing. We're business here. I'm worried about cash flow. So
Okay.
I would be okay with overpaying for property if it means I can take my sweet dandy time to pay it back and I can make a cash flow,
Okay. So when I
right?
go into So when I go into negotiations, I just say, yeah, we'll give you what you want, but it got to be the terms I want, right?
There's two things. Price and terms. We control one, they control the other.
Right.
So if they're like, I want my price, I'll give you my terms on your price.
Hmm.
If we want to control price, then they control terms. Right?
Okay.
But we're in a stronger position if we can negotiate terms on something.
Hmm.
You know, if the property is worth $1 million because we've napkin underwritten that and we've done our due diligence and all that stuff, and the dude's asking for $2 million and he's being a stickler on that price, but
Mhm.
he's super open to seller finance and all that stuff. If I can make a cash flow, I might be able to come to his price,
Okay,
right?
that makes sense.
I'm
Yeah,
worried about monthly. I'm worried about I'm worried about, I want to get a paycheck
Right.
every month coming in, cash money coming in every month.
Mhm. And far as like when you go into researching the properties, what you guys look at far as vacancies? What percentage?
Fantastic question. Dang. Now we're starting to ask some deep questions, which will be answered on Elephant Challenge coming up. But having said that, I'm open to whatever, man. Like, so here's the thing. If we have to go get, let's say you brought me a property that was like Class B. We used this example last night in one of our meetups. So it was like, it's a Class B property. They have 100 units, whatever, but like there's 70% vacancy, right? There's 30 of them are empty.
Mhm.
The problem you're going to have is that when you're trying to qualify for that assumption loan or for a private money loan or whatever, a lot of those places are underwriting properties assuming minimum 90% occupancy,
Mm.
right? Some
Mhm.
of them are like, we want to see 95% occupancy, depending on unit count and whatever, right? So if you're factoring in numbers and everything at 70% vacancy and your private money lender is factoring numbers at 90% vacancy, your numbers are going to be way off and you're going to have a hard time getting qualified. This is one of the problems that Justin Hoke is running into right now on a multifamily. He's getting ready to close. When they first underwrit the property and presented the offer to the private money lender, it was 90% occupied. And now it's like dropped below that and the lender is threatening to pull out. Right. So they're having to go back to the seller and be like, you need to bring vacancy. You need to increase decrease your vacancies, increase your occupancy.
Occupancy. Okay.
So if it's full, awesome. Now, if it's 70% vacant, okay, we have to remember that there's a value add play there.
Mm.
There's potential for me to come in and increase occupancy and bring value up, right? So I'm going to be interested in those if there's a lot of creative options on the table. If it's like free and clear and the seller's like, I'm willing to finance you, the vacancy almost makes no difference as long as it's something that I can fix, you know?
Mhm. What's the most interest rates do you take?
So yeah, that's funny. So like if I'm going to a seller and they're like, well, I want 25% down and I'll do it for 12% interest. I'm sorry, I can get a better loan at a bank.
Right.
I need it to be better than a bank.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pace is doing a lot of deals where he gets like 0% interest only payments for like 5 years. Like that's baller stuff,
Yeah. That's crazy.
you know?
Good negotiation.
But Aaron, you can kill it. Negotiate that stuff. You can do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Let's do it, man.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I have.
Sweet.
Appreciate you, man.
Thanks for coming out, dude.
No
Tuesday
problem.
night. I'll see you Tuesday night.
Tuesday or Thursday?
Tuesday. I do Tuesday nights.
Oh,
So my
okay, okay.
my elephant Zoom is Tuesday night.
Yeah, send a link or something.
It's in Discord. Are you in Discord? The elephant
Yeah.
Discord? It's in
Yes.
there's a channel called Training Schedule. And if you go into that, Carly has a Google Calendar link posted where you can click on it and it'll sync to your calendar. You'll see all of the official elephant training stuff that's going on.
A dog. Yeah. Sure.
No worries. I got my kid running around making noise everywhere, so don't worry about it, man. We all people
Baxter,
here.
stop!
We all people here. We're all good.
All right. Okay. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Heck yeah. No
All
problem.
right. Okay.
Cool, you guys. I want to go get some lunch. So I'm hoping to see you guys at 2:00. 2:00. It's 12:00 right now. 2:00. Emmanuel, forgot to ask, if we assume the loan, are we assuming it with current market rates or the original rate? Original, everything stays the same. Everything stays the same as the original loan. You're just assuming, means you're taking over as is. Cool. All right, you guys. If there's any other questions, I'm gonna just follow me on Facebook or in Discord. I'll figure something out. Maybe we'll start a Discord channel, but for sure come into my elephant trainings on Tuesday nights. That's always a great way to do it. Maybe what I'll do is I'll start a second Zoom like later on in the week where we can do specifically multifamily stuff. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll figure something out, okay? Just follow me and we'll keep in contact. 30 of us. 30 of us. Awesome. Okay. Please be on tonight at 2:00. I keep saying tonight. Shoot. This afternoon in a couple hours at 2:00. We'll see you guys there. Lots of fun stuff. They're going to be talking about napkin underwriting, finding deals, how to get on a call and talk to them, all of that fun stuff. So I'll see you guys there. I'm going to be there. I have to be there. It's my job. It's my job to be there. Support you guys, provide value to you guys, close deals with you guys. Let's go get some deals by the end of the year. I need some Christmas money. Let's do it. Anthony, you got kids you gotta buy presents for and stuff, man. Oh, look at that. Oh man. I love babies. My smallest is 4 years old now. He doesn't like it when I cuddle him and kiss him and do all that stuff. So
Yeah, I got 2 of them, man. I got 4 in the house, but 2 that are under 2 years old. So,
oh dang.
yeah,
You
yeah.
guys-
It's a little bit of a
You're not
handful,
getting
but
much sleep.
It's great. Yeah, mama helps a lot. Mama helps a lot.
Awesome, man. I love seeing little kids around. I love seeing families.
Me too.
Makes my heart all tendery and soft.
That's the whole reason we do this, right?
I
That's
love
the
it.
whole reason.
No, that's not the only reason. Re-
Yeah,
Priority 1 is family, yeah, but priority 2 for me is I'm here to change your guys' worlds.
right.
I'm here to make you guys, if you guys can make $1 million this year, not this year. That'd be awesome if you can make it this year. If you guys can make $1 million next year and I can help you guys do that, that's why I'm here.
That's it. It's Les Brown. You know what Les Brown says? It's not what you leave for your children, it's what you leave in your children.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, man.
But I'm also planning on leaving them a legacy too. So
Yeah.
we can kill it. You guys
Man,
showed
I'm
up on
ready to
you guys
crush it,
showed up
bro.
on a Thursday morning. Like, go getters. Go out there. You guys have zero to be afraid of. Like, what's the worst that can happen? A broker hangs up on you. The property numbers don't work out and you have to move to the next one. Like, have no fear. Go out there and conquer. Like, there's zero to be afraid of here. If you screw up a conversation, just hang up and learn and do it on the next broker. Like, What's the worst that can happen? Literally,
Exactly.
you know, you guys are in a fantastic position. There is not, the sky is the limit. The sky is not the limit because we're shooting past the moon now, right?
Mars for now.
Voyager probe has left our solar system. That's where we're at. We're operating in a different solar system. All right. You guys can kill it. Get those deals brought in. Our team is here, happy to help you. My whole team is here. I see Ronald. I see Ryan and Brittany. Our whole team is here. Like, we are waiting to help you guys with arms wide open. Love it. Thank you guys. See y'all at 2 o'clock. See you Tuesday. And maybe I'll do a second Zoom, another elephant Zoom. I'll figure it out. Follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, in Discord. I use the same handle everywhere at the Rob Sema. I also have a YouTube channel at the Rob Sema. I'm the Rob Sema on every social platform that exists. Because I am the only Rob Sema. No, I'm not the only one. There's like a million of them. But I am the Rob Sema. So like whenever we do elephant stuff, if you want to see past elephant stuff, it's on my YouTube channel. Cool. See you all.
Thank you,
Go get
brother.
some lunch. Get some lunch. Put water around you to have drinks. Go pee before the show starts. And at 2 o'clock, it's game time. We're here to learn, to grow a business, to kill it.
Get it.
See you all. Okay,
Peace.
bye. Bye.